presentate my sixth presentation. It's about a topic that is very interesting. It's about a chemical that is quite interesting and have many application or uses. It can do so many magic tricks. So let's go. Presentation 6, Gallium. And here's the contents. Introduction, properties of Gallium, fun tricks with it, very great uses of Gallium, and the conclusion. So let's come first to the introduction. Gallium was put between zinc and germanium in the periodic table. It has a symbol Ga and atomic number 31. Although it is expensive to buy, but it is pretty fun to play with, like this. And this person is holding some gallium crystals as it is melting. It was quite fun. Gallium has a melting point of about 29 degrees Celsius. So if we hold it on our hands, it will melt within 5 minutes. It belongs to the base metals group. Gallium is also very soft and very safe to touch. Like these are crystals of gallium and solid gallium. And this is the most beautiful picture that I found in the internet. It is a gallium piece that is melting. It is very, very shiny. Now let's move to its properties. In the human body, gallium is not very needed, but everybody has about less than a microgram of it in the body. And here's a gallium tube, a tube filled with gallium. Of course, gallium has a melting point of nearly 30 degrees as I have said it already. It is quite shiny and being a fairly well heat conductor, depending on the purity of it. It is solid at normal state. It is the 31st element also. And here you can see the gallium is melting. So here's the fun trick with gallium. Gallium will melt in our hands within nearly 5 minutes. So it will turn into the liquid state very quickly. Some kinds of spoons use gallium as the metal. So the spoon will also turn into a liquid when it is holding in our hands a long time, and also putting in boiling water. As you can see, the spoon is melting in the water. It's so weird. Gallium when melted into liquid is quite silvery. And also if the drops of liquid gallium is put in the water, the drops can attract each other and stick together to form a very big drop. Like this. The gallium bubbles and drops are attracting each other and trying to fusing to a huge bubble like this and this. Gallium can also create a beating heart by these steps below. First, you have to place a drop of liquid gallium in a shallow dish. Then you cover the gallium with dilute sulfuric acid. The drop will round into a ball as gallium sulfate forms on the surface of the drop. And then finally add a small amount of potassium dichromate. and then the gallium will relax. And finally, it is if the proportion of the chromate with respect to the sulfuric acid is just right, the drop will alternate between round and relaxed like a beating heart, like this. You could see the gallium beating heart experiment. It is beating like a real heart. And also mercury has also the same properties of gallium, so it can also create these experiments. It is very fun to try it at home. Gallium can also create a beautiful ball, a spinner, a Lego figure, and other stuffs. Just when we melt it and then freeze it to 29 degrees Celsius. Like this. This is a spinner made of gallium freezing. And also other spinners like this. And we can also make some solids in torus of gallium like these. Also, because gallium is placed in the periodic table after aluminum, so when we scratch an aluminum can, for example, and then insert some gallium in the scratch, it will cause us for the can to break apart and crumbles into dust. While we can just press on the can, it will also crumble immediately, like this. And also, this, it will make the cola can softer. And also, if we scratch it on the tennis racket and then pour some gallium in it, it will cracks like this. It's in a few hours. You have to wait a long time, but it's a quite fun experiment. And also this. And here is the other images, like making a keypad to lock a lock pad with gallium. And if it's turned into solid, we can just heat it, and then it will turn into liquid, and then we can break the lock. And then the candle, the yes and no decider, and the Lego figure. Very great uses of gallium. There are many uses of gallium, and the main use of gallium is in semiconductors, where it is commonly used in microwave circuitry and in some infrared applications. It is also used in the blue and violet LEDs and laser diodes. And here's a semiconductor. Also, the semiconductor grate made of gallium to build it. Some other uses of gallium include gallium was used in nuclear weapons to help stabilize the plutonium for machining. It can be used inside the telescope to help find neutrinos. Gallium is used as a component of a certain type of solar panels, and also it is also used in the production of mirrors. A mixture of gallium, indium, and tin, called Gallium, is now used in medical thermometers as Gallium. The gal is gallium, in is indium, and stand for the Greek or Latin word for stanium. Stanium, translated to English, is tin. This has replaced the traditional mercury thermometers that can be hazardous. You know, when breaking a thermometer, the mercury can be very, very dangerous to our bodies. Current research to replace mercury with gallium in dental fillings is ongoing. And here's a Gallium thermometer. You could see it is friendly with environment, not using mercury anymore. Gallium can be applied to aluminum so that it can react with water and generate hydrogen. This can be and the hydrogen can be supplied as a power and electricity for the world. In the other topics, it also has many medical applications. For example, gallium salts are used to treat people with too much calcium in their blood. Isotopes of gallium are used in nuclear medicine to scan patients in certain circumstances, like gallium-67. And here's at the above is the MRI scanning to treat the cancer part. And also the nuclear medicine made of gallium-67. It is a radioactive substance that was used to treat cancer. The conclusion. In conclusion, gallium is a very interesting metal that can do many unique things. Gallium can be useful in alloys, but is also very corrosive to some metals. Even though some of gallium's properties have no practical application, they are still very interesting to analyze and play with. As you know, it is very fun to make a lot of tricks with this gallium substance because we can reshape it by melting it and then freeze it in the mold shape that we want to. And finally, we come to the end now of the presentation now. Thanks for listening to my presentation. Goodbye everyone, and hope you will listen to my seventh presentation in the future. Goodbye.
Goodbye.